What is up, besties? It's your girl, the Karmic DF, back to you again with another video, and this time we are going to check out Trump's tariffs, what to expect for the economy, what do we need to know, maybe we can better understand it. I don't know about y'all, but I went down a rabbit hole of like watching YouTubers that, specialize in taxes, they understand tariffs and stuff, because when you watch the news, there's always emotions involved in it, and when it comes to politics, you have to remove your emotions and put in logic. And I see where he's coming from. We pay taxes on literally everything, and China pays taxes on nothing. Apparently, like 90% of the stuff that Walmart gets is from China. They're not paying a tax on it. Honestly, like, the tariffs make sense to me. The worry that I have and the worry I think other educated people have is, will it fall on us, right? Inflation. So I want to see if this is going to even out, stabilize, because I kept seeing whack-a-mole when I tapped into this energy a bit. So I wonder if like it's going to be a back and forth kind of game, and then eventually like they agree on something in medium. You know how like they're drawing me to like when people are getting divorced and they have like their lawyers and it's like, I want this, no, I want that, and eventually like they meet in the middle. Yeah, I'm hearing the song, why don't you just meet me in the middle? So I feel like eventually we're going to find common ground. And I also saw a video that said that he implemented tariffs in his last term and Biden kept them going. So I think this is more about like the goal for Trump right now is people paying their fair shares, because we pay plenty in taxes, but then also bringing American jobs back. They're drawing me to a story I saw where apparently Toyota was hit with this tax, and so they brought jobs to America to start having pickup trucks that were selling well, so it helped increase American jobs. And I'm seeing Trump want that for us. So it's like, you got to pay your fair dues. Like, that's the vibe. It's like having, I don't know, your kid at home, they're eating all of your food, they're not paying anything. Like, it's given that vibe. So this is all legend for entertainment purposes only. This is not, I'm just trying to inform you. I'm not going to involve my opinion in this one. So if you want to be triggered by my words, that's on you, because all I'm going to do is pull what spirit wants us to know. So this is all legend and for entertainment purposes only. Thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. And if you're new here, bestie, smash that subscribe button. You do not want to miss out. And also help me figure out what we should do for Thursday. So let me shuffle 2 more times. What can we know about this? I already feel like if this is implemented correctly, it would actually do us more good than bad. Because like, this is, okay, they're showing me a potential timeline. I don't feel like we're on it yet, but I could see China bringing jobs to America, or America-based goods being, yeah, I'm seeing like low value on top of America. So it's like you would get rewarded for having made in America. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the vibe here. It's like you don't realize how much of your shit, you're like, oh, what was the percentage? I think it was like 70% of clothing is outsourced. It's imported from different countries that aren't paying taxes, which is why, like, for instance, Temu, which I love, don't get me wrong, but it's cheap as shit. There's a reason for that. So it's like the goal from Trump's perspective is pay your fair share. Pay your fair share, so that either you stop leeching off of us. And I'm also seeing politicians benefiting from it. Like, why am I being shown Hillary Clinton? Does Hillary Clinton, entrepreneur, that's what I just heard, Hillary Clinton, entrepreneur, does she benefit from people not paying tariffs? Because I almost see like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to divide here, but I'm seeing like Hillary Clinton getting money for something. I don't know if this was when she wasn't she like a vice president? No, I don't fucking remember. When she was in office to some capacity, maybe the first lady, I don't fucking know. But it's like, another thing that we're not seeing is that rich people are making money off the fact that tariffs aren't happening. And it's something that Trump is pissed about. Because I see tax breaks, but it's going to other countries. It's like, I won't charge you tariffs, but throw me 50,000 K. Like, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. So there's also something about corrupt government. I mean, how many times does he talk about that? So that's not really shocking. But there's also something that we're missing here where it's like, you're not seeing that if the people that were benefiting from it were exposed, first of all, you'd be like, Hillary Clinton keeps coming to my mind. They keep showing me her. So it's like people like her benefit from tariffs not be. They're asking you to look at who is bitching about it the most. because it's almost like they're showing me like corrupt cops that take they take a little bit off the top, you know, like let's say we did a cocaine bust and then all of a sudden one of the bags go missing. Like that's kind of the vibe. It's like I scratch your back, you scratch mine. It's like there's been tariffs sort of, but it's been like underground. Like maybe Biden allegedly, maybe even Trump, who cares? I'm not here to divide here, but there's something about this money has been off the books, and that's why it was cheaper, and that's why tariffs weren't implemented. It's like there's just so much corruption. That's what I feel already, but that's a legend. There's no facts here. All right, what do we need to know about the Trump tariffs, the market, what's going to happen? What do we need to know? I keep hearing buy from your local people, buy from your local people. Made in America, Etsy, people that run their own personal businesses, buy from them. I also see us as a collective moving from quantity to quality. So I think this is like years down the road. We're going to slowly implement shit. But I see us going like, I don't need 57 t-shirts from Temu, even calling myself out on this. I'm going to buy this durable, like comfort hoodies. I love those comfort hoodies. They're like 60 something bucks, but they are durable. So I see us moving to a place where it's like, you know what? If shit's expensive, I'm going to buy something that's actually built to last. Where, think about it, right? Like the stuff from China, like where's Temu's from China, right? The clothes, $4 shirt breaks down in like a couple of months. So be prepared to see us change what it is that we want. I just see a big shift in like, all right, well, if shit's going to be expensive, I might as well make it worth it. Like, that's kind of the vibe. Like buying organic, right? Like, it's kind of that same vibe. All right, Spirit, what do you want us to know? Justice is upright. That's a good start. That's a good start. Two of Cups. We're going to be disconnecting from a few countries. I do see that, where some countries are not going to agree. Fall from grace. Yeah. This is like, I'm telling you. See, here's the problem. And it's not necessarily a problem. It's just that with change comes chaos because it has to level it out. Like I'm seeing tectonic plates. Like, you know, like there's an earthquake because the tectonic plates are moving, but eventually like it evens out. So I'm seeing something like that. So it's like stock market goes off, up, down. It's going to even out. So for those of you that are freaking out, what I'm seeing is like aren't eggs super expensive right now? So it's like, if you're someone who's paranoid, if you're like, oh my God, everything's going to be expensive, I can't afford everything, just put a little bit aside. Like, let's say you like Progresso soup, because that's popping up in my head right now. And they're like on sale 4 for $5. Buy $20 worth. Just put some to the side. I don't feel a need to like be paranoid, because what I'm seeing is like, it's like a shift. It's like, let's say you like to eat eggs for breakfast every day. The price in that is going to shoot up because Walmart's getting hit with the tariff. They're putting the tariff on us, the consumer, and then the consumer has to make that decision. Do I want to pay the extra money for it, or do I shift to something else? And then you might see something on a shelf nearby that's also a breakfast food and it says made in America, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to buy that. So I see a shift where it's like, maybe we're not getting stuff from the same countries with the world card at the end. This would be like, I think we're still going to work with China. I feel like he knows that that would be a bad move, financially speaking, to disconnect from them. And with the Justice card to start, I'm telling y'all, it's not going to be as bad as you think. In fact, I wouldn't even be shocked if what Trump wants, he's going to have to settle, because I keep hearing the song, why don't you just meet me in the middle? So like they might implement like a 5% tariff instead. Like there's something where he also has to go against like the Senate and the Congress. Like that's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. So it's like he's got to convince everybody. A lot of people are like terrified it's going to crash the stock market. Sorry, channel no brain. And they're terrified that we're going to be the ones paying for it. But it's almost like this is the change we need to build up new leaders. So now we're buying from, I don't know, the UK when we weren't before. Now we're like, maybe the cost to close is going to go up because, again, going back to that Walmart example, right? So maybe the cost to close is going to go up. But then we realize, you know what? I could buy a handmade shirt on Etsy and it's quality, and I'm going to do that instead. And so it's like incentive for the world to change with that world card to end the spread already. So it's like, while this may be, change is hard, right? But it takes 21 days to build a new habit. So I don't see this sending us into, I would turn off the fucking news because I see like, it keeps drawing me to like back when the vid lockdown happened and fucking Rachel Maddow was like fear mongering the fuck out of me. They're scared. They're implementing their fears onto you. I would go do what I did. I went and I looked up like people that were accountants and because they all got YouTubes nowadays. They'll explain to you why this is not necessarily the worst thing in the world. Will prices go up? Yes, they will. But I also see prices going down on other things. So it's like, let's say you used to pay $2 for eggs. Now it goes up to $8. You used to pay, I don't know, Spirit, give me an example. What do we eat? I don't know. I'm a vegetarian. I have less in this game. Let's say bacon is usually like $12, but now we're getting it from a different country or America, and now it drops to $4. So it's like the ends justify the means is kind of the energy that I'm getting. It's like you might just have to transition what it is you buy all the time. You might have to try new foods. You might have to buy clothes from a different place. It's like, it will be uncomfortable, but it's not the end of the world. It's just not. Justice card is the first card. But I do think that like there's going to be some battling, some egos, some China and Trump like duking it out for a little while until they reach an agreement. Because I feel like, especially with those hands like nearing touch, it's like, I'm backing away from you. I'm backing away from you. But the problem is like, it's reminded me of one of the videos I watched when I did the research on this. We're one of the most booming economies, so it doesn't benefit these countries to be like, you know what, fuck you, I'm out. Like, it just doesn't. So it reminds me a lot of like haggling. Like you're selling your car on Marketplace. Eventually you're going to meet an agreement because both of you still want the same thing. China still wants to sell to us. Trump still wants taxes implemented. I feel like there's going to be a middle ground that is found eventually. In the meantime, yeah, stock market's going to go up and down and up and down. If you're someone who invests in that, maybe don't do that. You know what I mean? Just be smart about it. What's on sale right now? Let me buy that. Let me stock up a little bit. I'm not saying go full like, danger. No, not that. Because I think what we're going to see is like, you're going to see certain items that used to be super cheap shoot up in price, but then you're going to see other items that used to be super expensive drop in price. So it's like you're just going to have to course correct to what works for you. I see a lot of like American-owned companies might really benefit from this. Because it's like, well, my price is staying the same. In fact, you know what? I'm going to cut a couple dollars off, shave it off for you. Like, oh my God, good example, Spirit. Like, what are eggs now? Like $6 or $8 here? I bought eggs from a farm. They were like $4, $5. So in the end, if you do your research, it might take a little bit more energy. Yeah, that kind of sucks, I guess. But if you shop smart, think smart, you're going to be fine. The 5 of Pentacles is in reverse. I'm not worried. I don't feel any fear in it. Yeah, 9 of Pentacles. This is like financial independence is the end game for Trump. This is like he wants money where it's supposed to be. It's like back. He really means it. Like regardless of if his plans crash and burn or not, King of Wands is upright. 9 of Pentacles is upright. This man wants the power back in the American people. Whether or not you feel like he's doing a good job, that's up to you. There are things I disagree with as well. But his goal is to put money back in our pockets. And he knows. It's in his mind, it's like, yeah, this shit's going to get crazy for a little bit. But I've been fucking with the stock market for decades. And I know that it always evens out. And that's his headspace. And he knows that, you know, they're showing me poker where it's like, I'm calling your bluff. He knows that China needs us. Yeah, I'm hearing You Need Me by Rihanna. So I'm not in this energy, and I don't even think I'm in Trump's energy because I asked Spirit what they thought, like the higher perspective. I'm not concerned. I just see us shifting what we buy. That's really what it is. And honestly, $6 for eggs, if you really think about it, that's a lot of meals in one thing. So pick your argument, I guess. But there's definitely something about freeing the American people from being like, here's a clothing tax. Here's food tax. That's because it's not a necessity food. Here's taxes for your car. Here's taxes for your state. It's like taxes. But then China pays no taxes and we're being drowned by taxes. So it's like his intentions are good. And I do see this evening out with time. Page of Cups. I see him reaching an agreement with quite a few countries. There might be a few that bow out that's like, I can't handle this. But it reminds me of like the poker players that come in early and they don't even have enough to start. Like there may be some countries that didn't have enough skin in the game to begin with that might be like, yeah, this isn't worth the 10%, and they bow out. But something as powerful as China, they know they have to work with us because it's like we make a lot of money off you guys. Just going back to the Walmart example alone, I think it's either 70 or 90% of Walmart's shit is imported from China. So it's like it doesn't benefit them to bow out. So that's not something you're going to have to worry about where there's like I don't see any hostility to the point of like there's going to be wars and shit like that. I mean, people might be pissed, but at the end of the day, they're going to have to bow down to him. And then you also got the Congress and Senate that are going to give him a hard time. So what I'm seeing is like the percentage of the tariff might go down. We will still see tariffs, and I do think it's going to benefit us. And I think it'll bring, his goal is to bring more jobs back to the American people. That's something that I'm seeing. Star card. Yeah, it's like we're, I don't know if this is true. This is kind of the energy with this card. We're on top in terms of like, we've got everything. We're the booming socioeconomic country. People all want a piece of us. So they have to follow suit. Like that's kind of the vibe. I think we might continue to see back and forth. Like maybe the Congress tries to stop it and then Trump tries to do an Uno reverse. And then I see them, no, draw two, skip you. Like if you ever played Uno, that's what I'm seeing. Where it's like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. But it's going to even out. I don't really know. Spirit, what should we know? Because like, honestly, this seems pretty black and white to me. I don't think there's really anything to be too fearful about. I don't see any crazy, like this is going to make us go into World War III. I don't see none of that. I see China eventually bowing down and being like, yeah, you called my bluff, but can you meet me in the middle? Like it just reminds me of haggling so much. Okay. Why the Three Swords? Oh, that's Trump being sad. Okay. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Yeah, he might have to accept defeat. I don't think everything he wants is going to be implemented. So the things you fear, I don't think they're going to be as intense as you think. But one thing I will say, and I know a lot of you are going to be so fucking angry. I can't help it. He wants what's best for us. He just doesn't. He's not a likable character, his personality. I get that. I understand. He's very rash and hard. But in his mind, it's like, I raised a business from the ground up. I understand business. We need businessmen in politics so that our country doesn't drown. I mean, we are $36.6 trillion in debt. They're not doing a good job. Like, why are we charged all these taxes? That's like continuously giving money to an addict. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? So for him, it's like, I don't care if there's a little bit of heartbreak. I don't care if people are struggling for a little bit because it has to even out. It's not fair. And with that Lover's card to end this line, it's like, you guys will thank me later is kind of the vibe. And it's not like an arrogance. It's more like it will even out. I keep hearing this too shall pass. It's like we've had tariffs in the past. They just didn't talk about it as much, or we didn't even realize what was going on. But because of the state of the world right now, we're just so divided that we can't think critically, which again is why I went down my own rabbit hole of like, all right, explain tariffs to me in a way I can understand, because the news just ain't cutting it. Like, I think the problem is there are a lot of people in politics. They're drawing me to Epstein. There are a lot of people in politics. There are a lot of people in the justice system that, like Trump says, they're corrupt. Skim a little off the top. No worries about tariffs. Just throw me 10 grand. We're good. Like, that's what he's trying to get rid of. It's corruption, and bring money back to the American people. He's telling the truth. It's just that he's got a unlikable personality. He's kind of like a covert. No, he's an overt narcissist. He shows you his hand. It's like you either like it or you fuck off. But the thing is, you know where you stand with this guy. And while I understand your fears, and yes, prices will go up, I'm not downplaying that. You're going to also see prices going down on other things. So it's like, yeah, you're paying more for this, but you're also paying less for that. And I see the point where it's like, China's been making a fuck ton off of us. And how much do they make off the people that are doing labor in their country, right? So it's like, this is a needed change. How it plays out, I see a lot of people like, I'm seeing like the end of a football game where they're like pushing on each other to like run out the clock. I do see them going into battle, Congress, Senate, shit like that. But I don't see this being like a breakout war or something. What do we need to know about China in particular? Because I feel like that's what you guys care about, because they're the ones that we get most of our shit from. Hold on. Is there anything else from this? This feels like there's women. What about them? There's also something about like women and bringing the family back. I always see this when I look into his energy. He wants the family unit to be safe. There's something so strong about like, because it's reminding me of I watch a lot of podcasts from CEOs and neuroscientists, all that shit. The family is at an all-time low, like birth rates are decreasing. So he's like, I need to bring the families back together, the white picket fence, so that I can help the mother survive, the family survive. So it's like, you know how like like a dad will be like, I know I'm taking your phone away right now, and I know you don't like it, but it's in your best interest. Like, that's kind of the vibe here. We don't fully understand, and we're kicking and screaming, but later down the road, it'll be in our best interest. This would be like if eventually we get a tax break. Like, that's kind of the vibe. It's like his goal is to make taxes go down as a whole. The problem with it is just like, again, going back to like Walmart, for instance, they're going to implement those taxes onto us. But if our country gets more money, they're more, not allowed, what's the word I'm looking for, Spirit? They're more capable of giving us tax breaks. So again, maybe we're paying $6 for eggs, but then we get some, I don't understand taxes like that, but like we get some sort of tax break on something else. So it's like the odds justify the means. That's kind of the vibe. What do we need to know about China? Bowing out. Well, they're pissed right now. But notice that hand is like, I need it though. Like, that's kind of the vibe. And this is like Trump's hand. It's like, I mean, you want to make money, right? You make so much money off of us. So I do think they're going to strike a deal. Yeah. 7 of Pentacles, investment. Honestly, this reminds me of someone who's like, let's say I'm playing poker. I'm Trump. China is across from me. And they have like 2 2s. And I have an ace and a 10. I don't know. The 21 game. I'm calling your bluff. Like, I know you're going to invest in us because you make so much money and profit off of us. So in the end, I think we're going to be okay. I'm not concerned. The detachment. Yeah, it's like calling the bluff with that magician in reverse. It's like, I'm pretending that I'm not going to work with you. I'm going to huff and puff. But eventually I realize that like you will, because Trump is like, I'm calling your bluff. You don't pay it. Your shit's not coming in. So we might have a moment where we're not getting products from China. But again, like, I feel the need to ask you, because Spirit keeps bringing it up and I'm trying to avoid it, but fuck it. This is who I am now. You're sitting here and you're mad about tariffs, but in the same breath, you're pissed that there's no American jobs. Pick your poison. Like, if you want American jobs, then shit like this needs to happen, because people need to wake up and go, I can start a business of my own. I don't need China. I can make stuff. Like, that's the point. Do you see how there's like a lot of entrepreneurs right now? Like, people are making their own money. We are in the age of technology. So it's like, this is going to help people that know how to make soap and shit finally decide to develop an Etsy business. This is going to help farmers start to make more money. Like, it's going to help the American people. We're just not seeing it yet because we're kind of like in the eye of the storm is what I'm hearing. So it's like, this is going to help bring back American jobs. This is going to help more. I think we're going to start to see more products that say made in America on it, because it's like, why aren't we just using our own people? You know what I mean? Why are we just getting a bunch of shit from China when we can do it ourselves? So do you want to be free? Because like, that's kind of how Spirit's going. I'm sorry. Yeah, the family. One thing I hear is like, China can't live without us. They make too much money. They benefit too much from us. So there's no way they're going to bow out. It's just that they're going to piss in. You ever see a toddler throw a temper tantrum in the store? But at the end of the day, they're going home with their parents. They're not getting the toy. Sucks to suck. At the end of the day, you lose. Like, you could pout, but you'll lose. China knows that they're not going to make money without us. Not the way that they do. So do I think that tariffs are inherently bad? I think it's going to be uncomfortable at first. Because again, I just see the money falling down on us. So it's like, great. This percentage, like let's say Walmart, good example. Now this, I don't know. I feel like eggs is just the easiest because everybody keep being drawn to that. Great, now I have to pay extra for eggs. I don't think they import eggs. I don't even know, but let's pretend. They're going to put that money on us. So it is going to fall on us, but I also see those taxes going to the federal government and then Trump trying to do something that gives us tax breaks. So it's like, it's going to work out in a different way. I hope this is making sense. Me and taxes, I don't know. What people are worried, okay. So Spirit, people are worried about like, oh, something about money being the NIH funding. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'll still try. A burden, diligence, path forward. What is it? What is the NIH funding? I don't even know what that is. I just saw it in a comment before I opened this. There's something about a burden, but I'm going to have to fight for it. You know what it's reminding me of for some reason is like teachers that have to buy stuff for their students, like art supplies. So I almost wonder if like, because they said something like research. I think people are going to have to find new ways to implement funding. Like this would be like, it's reminding me of like a GoFundMe for the people or something. So I do think that like, because isn't he pulling money away from like research? Something like that. I see like, while the money is being taken away, they're going to find it somewhere else. Notice how she's got all these doors in front of her. So it's like when one door shuts, another door opens. Yeah, I'm hearing the song, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. So it's like, yeah, the ocean's crazy. Yeah, the tides are high, but it always evens out. So whatever it is that you're thinking about, I don't know what I feel like I need to Google this real quick. Let me ask my Alexa. Okay, so all I could get from my Alexa was it's like medical funding. So that could be an issue. Hold on. A different perspective, though. And then a new idea. So I'm telling you, it's like what one door closes, another door opens. So everything that people are panicking about, think about when a door has shut in your life. Did you just claim defeat and just fall down and never get up? Or did you figure out another way? That's kind of the vibe here. I think people are going to figure out new ways of new creative ways, because notice how it's coming from her mind, of getting the money that they need. Okay, I had to ask my Alexa more questions because I was confused. Is it possible? I know I'm going to get screamed at in the comments. That's fine. I don't read them after a little bit anyway. Is it possible that they've been milking the money? Because there's something here. I can't ignore it with that King of Cups in reverse and the Ace of Pentacles upright. There's something about we're not fully understanding where the money's going to begin with. There's something about like, because like I keep being drawn to like, I know that people are worried about like diversity, equity, stuff like that, but it's almost like, again, I'm being drawn back to corruption. I know Trump talks about it a lot, but there's something here about like holding people accountable money-wise. Like maybe this would be like, let's say there's a research for autism and like 20% of the funding is just going into some guy's pocket. Like there's something about like, it's almost like he's trying to shake people's money so that they have to move with, what's the word I'm looking for, Spirit? Integrity. Because I feel like what we're not seeing, and listen, I have no stake in this game. I literally just had to ask Alexa. I have no fucking idea. What Spirit's showing me is like, we don't fully understand where this money's going. So it's almost like look at how it says empty reward right there. It's like, if businesses were getting away with making a fuck ton of money off of our empathy. So like, again, autism, right? We all fucking care about that. We want people to have fulfilling lives and understand. It's almost like, I'm hearing like cutting out the dead weight. So maybe like this ends up, I could see this affecting people negatively as well. I'm not going to pretend that it won't, because with all change, there's both good and bad. But I see Trump being like, the money we're giving you, it's the ends aren't justifying the means when it comes to like the research and stuff like that. It's almost as if like where our taxes are going, it's not making change. You know how like, how long have we been trying to fight cancer? And I've seen it in my other videos, allegedly no facts here, that it's already been cured. They just shelved that shit. So it's like, maybe he knows that the research, okay, this is the best example I can give you. I think deep down we all inherently know that war is wrong and that we're all fighting for dumb shit like oil and stuff like that. Like, why can't you use your words? But we still respect the people that go into war, right? Because they feel a duty to their country. So it's like, it's not the guys that are in the war that are bad. It's the money-hungry assholes at the top that are putting us in these bad positions to begin with. I see Trump going, your odds aren't justifying the means. And if I put you in a tough situation, you're not going to be able to bank off of people's money and screw people over anymore. That's the energy that I'm getting. Whatever the fuck that means. For people that aren't, I hate Trump and blah, 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 and can't hear me, you can flip out in the comments. But to my educated people that can think with their brain and not their emotions, can you help me make this make sense? Because what I'm seeing is that 10 of Wands is screaming to me like, you're not realizing that the money that's being taken is on our backs. It's like if I'm funding for something, but I'm never getting the result that I need, and it's coming at the taxpayers' money, and we're not seeing it because we are empathetic and we want it to work out. So again, like diversity groups, right? But where's the money going? It's reminding me of like whenever there's like, let's say Maui. Remember when Maui fires and someone like Oprah is like, please donate, but you're like a fucking billionaire? It's like, why aren't you doing the job? It's kind of giving me that same energy where it's like, we're not fully understanding that wherever this money's going, it shouldn't be going there. That's what we're not seeing. And it's like Trump sees it because he's been a businessman for fucking decades. And then this system works. It's like, how, this is the only way I know how to describe it. Anyone who's dealt with a narcissist in a family environment, there's a narcissist. You can Google this if you have trouble with this. There's a narcissist. There's always the scapegoat, the one they attack. And then there's the flying monkeys, the ones that are subservient to the narcissist because they don't want to be the target. It's kind of like that. It's like the top of the food chain of like NIH, probably a narcissist. They use their flying monkeys to tell us, no, we really, really care about diversity. And that's why we need to do so much research and funding. And little do you know, this is why they have 17 mansions and a condo and 15 cars. And it's like, Trump is seeing that. And then that person who's making a fuck ton of money, King of Cups in reverse. So whoever's at the top, maybe the top of NIH, maybe that. I don't know who runs that. Maybe it's that guy. But it's like, you're not seeing what he's doing. He's manipulating your kindness to get as much money as possible, but a lot of that's not even going to the funding. It's going to him or it's going to his buddies. So yeah, they're in cahoots with people in the news, and then the people in the news are going, oh my God, it's danger, and Trump doesn't care about science evolution. But didn't he just start like a different science sphere? Like, didn't he sign up someone else for that? So it's like, what we're seeing is change. And the flying monkeys are going crazy saying, now we're doomed and Trump doesn't care about blah, 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 blah. But what you're not seeing is that money's not going where you think it's going. It's like, let me shave a little here. Let me shave a little there. Oh, we don't need this for funding. I'm going to just buy myself a Maserati. Like, that's the vibe. So it's like, of course, right now on the news, especially because it's all fucking connected, we're going to think, oh my God, Trump's a racist. And maybe he has an unconscious bias, sure. But what I'm seeing and what Spirit's showing me, it's not Trump's energy. He's trying to cut the dead weight. That's the main energy here. It's like, I know that money's not going to where you say it's going. And I don't care if I have to look like the bad guy. You're not fucking the American people out of money. That's the energy. And then everybody's mad at him. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, no, he really wants us to have our money back. He's seeing where people are skimming off the top and he wants it to stop. So it's like, if I remove money from you, you're going to have to make a choice. You're either going to, and then how is that Trump's fault? Do you see the problem there? So, okay, going back to NIH, right? This feels like someone at the top of NIH. This feels like someone at the top of that. This dude making so much money off of us. We're like, oh my God, yes, I pray to God that you can help us. You're going to help with diversity. You're going to help with equity, blah, 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 blah. And we're like, awesome, you got it. This dude, 5 cars, 5 mansions. Trump's like, I'm going to call your motherfucking bluff. I'm cutting your money, so I'm cutting you at the root. Now, this guy has a choice. He might take money with those 2 doors here, right? 2 of Wands, all these doors in front of me. Now he might crowdfund, is what I'm hearing. Why does it fall on us? You ever notice how, okay, here's a really great example, right? The cost of money goes up. Amazon, they rise their prices. But Amazon's billions. in wealth. So when are we going to realize that we're the ones getting fucked and it's the businessmen that are the problem? It's not Trump, at least not in this energy. It's not Trump. Trump is going, I'm calling your bluff. You're done fucking the American people. That's his energy. But it's benefiting so many people that are up top. Why would we hear the truth? That's really the energy in this. And I understand that this is going to come with bad effects, but we also can't let rich people continue to get rich off of us and off of our ignorance, lack of education, lack of understanding. I see Trump trying to cut the heads off of people, not literally, metaphorically, of people that have been lying and screwing us out of money and screwing us out of things. Because, like, I'm seeing, like, money going to, like, cancer research, but again, it's like a 20% tax break and it goes to the head of the guy. Like, we're not seeing the full picture. That's the problem. Here's a dumbed down example to, like, help you make it make sense. Your rent goes up, right? Now you have to cut costs on groceries and shit like that. Do you blame the guy that rented you the house, or do you blame the rich guy who, instead of losing a little bit of money, decided to raise your rent? We have a habit of just blaming the face, and then there's these people in the background that are moving that are knowing that we're going to blame the face. Does that make sense? So it's like we're blaming Trump, but Trump is seeing the corruption and he's trying to wipe it out. That's what I'm seeing. One thing I will say, of course the scientists are going to be scared. Of course the people that truly want to have research development are going to be worried and they're going to blame Trump. That makes sense. But the problem is all the billionaires are hiding behind him and they're fucking laughing because Trump is getting the heat. But what you don't understand is that the problem is not Trump. It's the rich fucks. And yes, I understand Trump is also a rich fuck. I hear you. But right now, his goal is to make it so that the money goes back to the people. And if that means, like, I just keep feeling the need to be like, why are we blaming Trump? Why aren't we blaming the rich person that made this a problem in the first place? You see what I mean? The reason, yeah, I just heard real recognize real. If Trump is a businessman, he knows how to skim some off the top. He knows how to do that. So if he's trying to bring money back to us, real recognize real. Manipulator recognize manipulator. He's calling people's bluffs. That's why he's cutting people's spending. He's like, no, not at the people's bottom dollar. Why are we this much in debt? Like, that's his energy. And I know you guys are going to get mad. I'm not saying that it's a good thing to lose, like, cancer research or some shit like that. But eventually we're going to have to cut the heads off the snake. And the snake right now is not Trump. It's just, unfortunately, it's the cost of the reality. It's, I need this guy to go. And so if I cut it and I start a new program, then maybe I get it away from this rich fuck. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I hope this makes sense. This is also reminding me of, isn't, like, RFK Jr. like anti-vaccine, or he's more like we need to adjust our idea of science? Like, I just see like a pivot where it's like, it's reminding me of this doctor I follow on YouTube, Dr. Living Good, if you want to look him up, where he's like, I had to quit because it wasn't healthcare, it was sick care, it was keeping people sick. It's reminding me of, like, blood pressure medicines. I think it's blood pressure, right, Spirit? I think so. It'll say don't eat grapefruit because grapefruit will bring down your blood pressure. So it's like a lot of this shit it's a scam. It's like the giant, you know, like, do you remember, like, what was it, K or something? Do you remember the makeup days a long time ago? We all signed up for it if you're especially a millennial or a Gen X, where it was like K makeup or something, where, like, you would sell it and it was like a big Ponzi scheme. It's like science has become a big Ponzi scheme. These grants have become a big Ponzi scheme. And it's like the goal here is to get rid of the guys on top and to move into a different position, hire new people, get it in a different arena where the people that are milking us and not telling us the full truth get removed. Will that actually work? That's a different conversation. I mean, I could check real quick. Spirit, will this actually help us in terms of, like, pivoting to a different arena in which we get the needs met, but without the rich fucks? Like, okay, other people, setbacks. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fights first. That's the problem. Feared change. See, the problem is a lot of us are holding on to, oh my God, what are we going to do? We're in danger, blah, blah, blah. But it's like there's like a pivot that I'm seeing, and it's like we can't fully understand it because it's like it has to happen. Because we have to, like, notice how this cup is empty. It's like, you're not actually giving us the shit we need. Like, how long have we been doing cancer research? Why haven't we cured cancer? And I'm not sitting here shitting on scientists. I feel, based on readings I've done, per my opinion, no facts, we had the cure a long time ago for a lot of things. But that doesn't make for money for these giant corporations. And Trump fucking knows this. I'm not pro-Trump. I'm not sitting here going, he's the end-all be-all. This is going to cause a lot of problems. I'm not pretending that it won't. But will it change? Wheel of Fortune. It's a timing thing. Dose of realism. And then look at the apple. It always reminds me of Adam and Eve with the don't eat the poison apple. It's like we've been buying into this bullshit. Look at all these empty cups. It's like we've been the illusion of, if we have all these programs, and I'm sure that all these programs have brought us some sort of development, right? But like, what keeps us customers? Diabetes medications, but never a cure. Cancer, chemo, but never a cure. And it's like, we need to start asking bigger questions. Why have you been working on this shit for decades? No cure. Do you see what I'm saying? So while there is going to be a lot of problems, I'm not going to deny that there's going to come, this is like, they're zooming me out because I know you guys are going to get so mad, and I hear it. I understand. I empathize with you. I get it. You're not wrong. But what I'm seeing is like the rise of the next Martin Luther King Jr.'s, the rise of the next Greta Thunberg's, the rise of the next. It's going to force people that are passionate about this to step up and help transition us into a new wave of learning, thinking, becoming. Like, that's the vibe. That's why this is so messy. Yeah, as the Nine of Cups comes out, it's like we're manifesting a different world. We don't want lack anymore. And so it's going to get messy. Like, if you're moving out of a house to get a new nice house, when you're moving out, it's going to be a fucking mess, right? But eventually you get to the new house where you feel like it was all worth it. That's kind of the vibe. We got to get, it's like, Trump knows something we don't know. I mean, I'm sure he said it, and if you're a fan of his, you probably know what I'm talking about. But it's like, the environments is the problem. Where the money's going is the problem. Why do we have St. Jude's? This is just an example, and I'm not shitting on St. Jude's. Why do we have St. Jude's? We're constantly investing into it, constantly being asked for money. Why is there no cures? That's the vibe. It's like, Trump wants to call people's bluffs. That's really what it is. I want the other businessmen to fall because I know what you're doing. That doesn't mean that he's great. That doesn't mean that he's not going to fuck up. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to explain to you his thought process and what's going on behind closed doors. It will hurt. It will affect science. It will affect, I do see like grants not being approved that we'd probably benefit from having. But again, ask yourself the bigger question. Why have you been around for decades and shit hasn't changed? Why has our bottom dollar never gone up? Why is the price of living always going up but not our price at work? We need to be asking bigger questions, and that's what's going to help you get through this, because it's going to look messy and there's going to be a lot of problems, but that's where warriors are born. That's where the next Martin Luther King Jr.'s are born. That's when the next wave of people that are meant to bring in change, that's where it comes from. So yeah, there's going to be bad that comes with it, but Trump's intentions is to cut the heads off the snakes of those that are feeding and leeching off of us, and we don't even realize it's happening. Like, that's, I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. It's going to be ugly. I won't deny that. But that's just what it is. This is how I'll try to end it. I don't know if you've ever bought strawberries. If you have like one bad strawberry, it'll quickly infect the rest of the strawberries and then they'll all go bad. So it's like the grants, the science people, all of that, they're good people. They mean well. They want to create stuff. But the problem is you got one bad strawberry in there and it's infecting the rest of them. Meaning like, I want to have a grant for, because I read one of this a while ago, something about like HIV getting cut or something like that. That's bad. I understand that. That's bad. The problem is the bad guy at the top, that King of Cups in reverse. It's like, I pretend to care about you, but you don't know what's really going on, because whenever we make a real breakthrough, allegedly zero facts here, none whatsoever, I'm a lunatic that talks to the dead. Whenever we make a real breakthrough, that shit gets shelved and we don't even know about it. Because how would Big Pharma benefit from cures? So I see something about that where it's like, Trump knows how this shit works. He's been in it for too long. He's been the businessman. He's been the bad guy. He's been the guy that skimmed a little off the top. So that's why this is so intense. It is going to affect people negatively. I'm not denying that. I'm just trying to explain to you what you're not seeing and what his mindset is. Good, bad, that's not what I'm saying. If you want to say that in the comments, you're twisting my words, that's on you. All right, any final, Spirit, what do you want the people to know, most importantly, about all of this change that's happening right now? What do you want them to know? Change comes with grief. Reassess your priorities, yeah. I mean, and then also with the businesswoman on it, it's like, what makes you passionate? What do you want to do? Like, I'm not diminishing. I'm trying so hard, but I can't do my job if I have to like tippy toe over what I need to say. So I'm just going to say what I need to say. Let's say the price of shitty food goes up. Now you're held accountable. All right, maybe I do need to pay the extra $2 for organic that's made in America. But guess what? Now you're not going to get disease. And now you're less likely to have diabetes and cancer and all this shit. So it's like, if we get it at the root, the problem will solve itself. We won't need research and shit if we actually started prioritizing the things that matter. Stop going for the cheap route. Stop buying the cheap food with all the preservatives and chemicals in it that'll bring you to guaranteed cancer in the future. It's like, this change has to come. It's going to fuck shit up. It's going to affect people negatively. All change does. Six of Pentacles. This is like, this will even out. This will even out. And look at the Judgment card with karma on her necklace. It's like, we're going to end up, this is going to create a lot of warriors. People that protest, people that are going to fight for science, but in a different way. So maybe like, you know, the billionaire that funds the NIH, because I keep being drawn to that. So maybe it has something to do with that. But it's like, maybe someone else steps up and is like, you know what? I have enough money to invest in this. Let's get to work. And then now it's like off. It's like a different business. Does that make sense? Like, okay, we don't have the money for this contract. I'm pretty rich. I'm passionate about this. I'm going to take it into my own hands. Guess what? Now we got a new business. Family owned. Made in America. Now you're going to have new scientists in it. Like, that's how this is going to change. Eight of Swords. There's always a way out. People are going to get removed. People are going to get cut off. Money and spending is going to get cut off. It's going to look scary at first. And they're going to tell you a million reasons why, especially on the news, that Trump is the devil and blah, 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 blah. And while I am seeing actual problems that come from this, yes, I do see spending funding for research. That's going to be a problem moving forward. There are going to be things that they can't approve that they would like to approve of. But I just see us as a collective shifting into, if this is something I'm passionate about, I'm going to go after it. It's drawing me right back to like the teachers that have to buy like class supplies and shit like that. It's going to be hard at first, but what change doesn't come with problems? And I know a lot of you are like, you're dying this down. It's so bad, blah, blah, blah. I hear you, but how would it benefit you guys if I sit here and fearmonger you? Everybody else is doing that to you. I don't need to do that to you. Find your power, find your voice, find what it is that you need. You're not a victim. Is that food made in America and organic? That's going to help your health. Are you focusing on your own health in general so that you don't ever have to worry about, like, I understand that this is going to impact people. Maybe this means that, you know, some people that could have got cancer developments don't and they die. This is life change. It happens. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm saying in the end, the odds will justify the means. It's going to take a while. It really is. It's going to take a while, and there's going to be a lot of complaints, and it's going to be, it's reminding me, this is a good way to sum it up. It's reminding me back in the day, I'm old, here we are, when we used to have to argue, like, I don't know if you guys had debate class, but one person would have to go up, they'd have to argue pro-life versus pro-choice. At the end of the day, it's still a moral dilemma. It's not a fact-based dilemma. And it's up to you. Do you see what I mean? So like, if you're worried about it, what steps can you do? If you're worried about it, how can you adjust? It's like choose your hard. Like that's the vibe with this. Choose your hard. You're worried? What can you do? Don't worry about things that are out of your control. That's what I'm hearing real strong. If like, how does science being grants cut, how does that affect you? It's supposed to impact the people that are directly affected to stand up for themselves to whatever version that they need to, right? The woman that is very passionate about her cancer research, and now the federal grant's getting cut, she invests in it, now she made a business of her own, and she's booming 10 years down the road. But we don't see that yet, because right now we're in the the eye of the storm. So it's like, breathe. If there's nothing you can do, remove yourself. Don't get so emotionally invested in this. Allow the shit storms to shitstorm. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it'll come together. It'll work itself out. But it's going to get ugly first. Everything, all change, that's just how it works. Back deck. Yeah, money's definitely going to be a big impact. But I just see money also coming back to America. Because look at that, the Six of Wands. We might be isolated for a little bit where it's like, oh, like China will be like, nah, I'm not going to invest in you. But then it's going to hurt them. So they're not going to. I see a lot of countries being like, just Trump calling their bluff. His main goal here, if you get anything out of this, his main goal is you're making too much money off the American people and the money needs to go back to the American people. How he handles it, messy. I understand that. But it's a whole country and he's affecting the whole globe. You expect that shit to be clean and nice and tidy? Or do you want a government that just sits on their hands and goes, oh, nothing we can do, and then we're still stuck in the same predicament? With change comes hope. And I see a lot of people rising. Like, this could be like, you know, LGBT people standing up and protesting and being impactful and making a name for themselves. In the bad, you can find the good. Retrospection is key to getting through this next wave of insanity. But yes, I do think money is going to be targeted. I do think that's going to be more expensive, but I also see other things decreasing. So it's like maybe gas goes down while the price of eggs and certain food and clothing goes up. So the things that you're worried about, maybe just put a little bit aside. But I don't think it's going to be an all-out like, oh my God, we're going to, you know, inflation's at an all-time high. We can't afford to live. I don't see that. I see Trump calling a lot of people's bluffs that are rich as shit. That's what I see. But yes, I know. I know that this is going to affect people negatively. I'm not downplaying that. You twist my words in the comments after I just said what I said, then that's on you. You're choosing not to hear me. You're not listening to hear me, and that's on you. But the goal here is to make American businesses start again. The goal here is bring money back to the American people. The goal here is calling other countries bluffs because they need us. We don't need them. And then the research and science part, there's something about like the heads of departments are like, again, I just see people skimming money off the top. I've always seen allegedly no facts here. You got a cure. It gets like what I'm seeing, like they're showing me an example, right? I had this significant scientific breakthrough. I can now cure lung cancer. I go to the head guy who goes to the head guy who goes to the head guy. They come back to me with an NDA and it's got $100,000 and I'm silenced and I never hear about it again. That's the shit we don't see. Allegedly. Zero facts here. So if that's what's really going on, don't you want change to occur? Or do you just want this shit to keep going? Basically, it's like we have the illusion of thinking that we have advances, and there are some advances, obviously. But the big ones that we need the most, when they actually reach the point that we need it to be, shelved. Because how does Big Pharma benefit from cures? They don't. How does, like, this is a fact. When they realized that cigarettes were bad for you, because at first they thought it was good for you. When they realized it was bad, they moved to Nabisco. They moved to foods. They realized that cigarettes were addicted. They found out it was brought up that, you know, they had to put the little sticker on it, this will kill you. And so what did they do? They invested in foods. And now what happens with our food? You got high fructose corn syrup in it, makes you addicted to the foods. This is why you can't eat just one chip, just one Reese's cup. Notice what's going on. Notice that these people don't have your best interests at heart. And Trump, one of the best parts about him is that this motherfucker wants to do everything to prove people wrong. So let's use his wound against him, right? Like, he wants to be proven like, haha, told you so. So his haha, told you so would be bringing money back to us and proving that people are milking us of money. So if he can do that, that benefits us. Do you see what I'm saying? If not, you're stuck in the past and I don't know how to help you. But I'm not saying he's a great guy. I'm not saying that it's just, how do I word this? If you've been toxic, then you recognize toxic. If you've manipulated, then you can recognize a manipulator. Trump has been that person. I don't know if it was almost getting shot at. I don't know what made him change. Maybe he just really, really, really likes validation. He has that narcissistic tendencies for sure. But there's something here where it's like, I want to bring money back to the American people and I want to stop corruption. It's clear as day. While there is some bias in terms of like gender fluidity and shit like that I don't agree with, true. But the main contender for him is like money back to people. And con artists not getting away with their con artistry anymore. Whatever you choose to do with that information is up to you. Sorry. I do think it'll be messy though. They're drawing me into my skull too. So I do think that this is going to affect people negatively, but it reminds me of the death card because with death comes change, right? How do we get passionate about things when our back is up against the wall? So I'm not sitting here saying he's amazing. I'm not sitting here saying he's the devil. I'm just showing you what's going on, and what you choose to do with that is up to you. So I'm going to leave it here, besties. Please try to keep it semi-civil in the comments. I know that's the best I can ask for. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If you want to book a private reading with me, thekarmicdf.com. Subscribe if you haven't already. And please understand that I'm not trying to divide. I'm just trying to explain. I didn't put my opinion in this. Vaguely. I kind of see his point, but I do see where it's going to hurt us too. But what change doesn't come with pain, you know? So I'm going to leave it here, and I hope you guys have a good week.